Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me on this live podcast on how to upgrade your nutritional supplements. Now, you may not understand what we mean by upgrade, but let me explain. Most nutritional supplements are still isolated synthetic vitamins and minerals. However, there are higher quality products available, mostly food based, because it is year 2025 and we have 100% organic food based supplements. But uh, your medical doctor isn't going to give you these. Supermarket's not going to have these. And the majority of the supplements that my patients have are not food based supplements, even though they are of much higher quality. So, we're going to talk today about what are good quality supplements, what are poor quality supplements, the difference between synthetic ones, chemical based supplements, food based supplements, and we'll even talk about a lot of overpriced, overhyped supplements that people end up overpaying for, which and how to recognize a quality supplement. And I got some sample brands here we can show you, and we can talk about just general true superfoods. Now, everybody's calling everything a superfood in the last 10 years. Most of it's just BS. But we're going to talk about real superfoods. To me, a superfood is something that has a lot of nutritional content to it and can be taken almost like a vitamin. So we're going to talk about those, and those are really the best. Of course, the best would be to just grow your own food with your own compost, which I've tried and I still do to some degree, but nowhere near enough to survive off of. And that would be, of course, the healthiest route. But we all know that our agricultural processes are lacking. Even when there's organic food, they may be using organic fertilizers, but the soil may not still have all the nutrients and vitamins from repeated years and decades of agricultural practice, depleting the soil and the nutrients. So we can basically conclude, unless you're living in the jungle growing all your own food, that food that you buy from the supermarket, even organic, is nutritionally incomplete. So this is why we in the Western world have almost no choice but to take nutritional supplements. We're talking about, fat soluble supplements like vitamin D, E, and A. These are fat soluble. And then the B complex and other water soluble vitamins and vitamin C, etc. And of course, minerals like zinc, folate, and other trace minerals are very important. So, because they're just not in the soil and they're not in our fruits and vegetables anymore to the degree that they should be. So we really have to take some nutritional supplements, and of course, different supplements through time have become more popular. There was a time when everybody thought vitamin C, ascorbic acid would cure cancer, would cure everything, and people took big doses of vitamin C, and this went on for a long time. Then there was time where everybody was, okay, magnesium is going to help you sleep, going to help you relax, going to help you give your bowels moving, and people took a lot of magnesium. But now, in the last decade or so, it's been D3. Of course, if you read the history of D3, it is a chemical made in a laboratory. And there was D1, which was originally put in milk, and then D2, which apparently didn't work. There were some problems with it working, and I think some of these early supplements were carcinogenic, it turned out, and unabsorbable. Many of these synthetic nutrients are still unabsorbable and ineffective. They just show up in your blood work. So you're taking the D, for example, the old D2, they say didn't work, and you would take it and you would test. Medical doctor would test your blood work, and it looks like you got plenty of D, but it never translated into stronger bones, which is why it was given out originally to a lot of postmenopausal women. So then they had to change to D3, and apparently there is a D4 out there that's supposed to be better. But my point is, they're just chemicals made in a laboratory, industrial chemicals. And the process to even get the magnesium and the calcium, and there's different types of magnesium citrate, magnesium calcifate, calcium citrate, calcium carbonate. There's just different types of each one. If you saw the process to make them, they're getting these uh, from the earth, and then they're having to dump chemicals in them in a big pot and separate out the minerals, and they're using chemicals to do that. That's why you see all these vitamin supplements, they don't say organic on them, because they're industrially made in a chemical process using chemicals, and some of them are completely synthetic, not the minerals so much. They are excavated from the earth, but they're separated through chemicals. But a lot like D3 are completely synthetic. And they're all what you call isolated, means they only have that nutrient. And of course, there's no food in nature that's only one vitamin. So you already have your suspicion this is not healthy. And of course, there's many adverse side effects of uh, taking excess of certain vitamins. And often when they're popular, people are taking a lot. And then over time, people realize, oh, we shouldn't be taking that many. People have taken big doses of magnesium, for example, ended up with loose stools and diarrhea, and then ultimately lazy colon, and couldn't hold their bowels in, or even contributing to nighttime urination. And not too long ago, doctors were, particularly naturopaths, were telling everybody should take 10,000, 20,000 milligrams of D3. And then later they've come out and said maybe that's too much. It can cause some other adverse effects, because once again, I repeat, they are not natural. They are either synthetic, or they're mined using and separated using chemicals. So, but the good news is, less than 10 years ago, or about then, they started coming out with food-based nutritional supplements. And now, of course, they're very popular. One of the first companies to come out with food-based nutritional supplements, which I used to recommend to my clients more than 10 years ago, was Mega Foods. I still really like this Mega Foods blood builder for anemia. But this company is quite good. They're one of the original. But now, of course, there's new companies that are food-based. And we can see here, here's a company here. This is from Garden of Life, which I believe has been taken over by a larger company, but the product still seems good. See, certified organic whole food. You're not going to see that word organic or whole food on any of your other supplements. Now, this is Garden of Life. They definitely are a leader in food-based supplements. That's their new packaging. They have another Garden of Life here that doesn't have the word organic on it, but it's made from foods. So, for example, if you look at the back of vitamin C in what's not food-based, it says ascorbic acid. But if you look at this vitamin C on the back, it's listing all the little carrots and spinach and everything that they've extracted the vitamin C from. So it's just a list of extracts from vitamins. So that's why they can call it organic, because they're extracting the vitamins from the plants. A lot of times they're young plants, like little sprouts. We've, of course, sprouted vegetables have been shown to be tremendously packed with nutrients. So a lot of them, from my understanding, they're getting from baby broccoli and just sprouted sprouts. And then they're taking this, and there's some process. Obviously, they can't use chemicals, or they couldn't call it organic. There's a process where they're able to extract out the nutrients, and leave the fiber. With all the fiber, the pill would be so big you couldn't take it. So they're kind of like taking the vitamins out, leaving the fiber, packing it in a little capsule, and then it's still food. Um, and of course, they have to get that organic title on there. They have to be growing these in an organic way without chemicals. And so that was my product right there, mince once a day. And this is definitely an excellent product. My Kind Organic, that's the upscale brand of Garden of Life. Now, you got other brands too. There's also New Chapter. They also have a line of organic whole food supplements. And then the new guy on the block is this Nutrella. It's what I'm doing now. They are in plastic bottles. All these other companies were in glass, and I do like glass, but you can't beat this price. Their price is lower because the big problem with a lot of food-based supplements, the price was like double. And now this company came out using the same technology, and see, they're plant-based D3. And that's what you want. And you can look in the back and you can compare with your other vitamins. Like if you see on these vitamins here that are food-based, for example, folate just says folate made from extract of some vegetable. But when you see it's synthetic, it's folate acid. They'll always put the chemical name in brackets next to it. And these chemical names, that's the chemical that's being used that has this amount of nutrient in it. Now, when you do the food-based supplements, you'll notice the quantities are much lower. A lot of these cheap supplements, they have high quantities of B12, for example, because B12 definitely can give you some energy. And I think the government recommended daily allowance is only a couple hundred milligrams. But you look in the back, and most of them say like 2,000. Some of them even say 20,000% of the daily recommended amount. So when you take that, it's a chemical, you get buzzed. Those are those sublinguals. Those are all chemicals that are not natural. Those ones you put under your tongue, the B12 on your tongue. People get like energy from them, so they like them. And the supplement companies try to jack up these B vitamins, particularly B12, because people feel energy from it. Even people have stopped them and found out their insomnia went away. I've had people who were getting heart palpitations from their supplements because they're too stimulating. And when I have a client with like an inflammatory intestinal condition like IBS or definitely ulcerative colitis, I just have to tell them to stop all these vitamins. Now, of course, these vitamins and minerals need to be taken with food. And unfortunately, a lot of people just take them on empty stomach. And this can be quite upsetting. And if you have any inflammatory colon intestinal condition, you can't be taking these synthetic vitamins. I have to pull them from this type of person, and they already notice an improvement. So these vitamins can be kind of aggravating to the system, stimulating to the mind. And again, they're not organic. So you got these whole food supplements, but you also have a lot of foods that are very high in nutrients that could be that can be used instead. They're like what I say, like true superfoods that can be used to as a vitamin. For example, you've got spirulina, chlorella, barley grass, wheatgrass. These are all extremely nutritional and can be taken almost like a daily vitamin. For example, spirulina is almost a complete food with protein, fat, and almost every vitamin, including vitamin D. We can take a look here under my website there. Herman Tea is the sponsor of our podcast here. We have a section called Nutritional Formulas, and you can see we have many different nutritional products. But I want to show you some of the ingredients here because there's many herbs that are very nutritional. And many of these you may be well aware of and you can use in your own life. Now, I just want to make it clear, herbs are not vitamins. These herbal formulas are they're therapeutic. They're lowering blood pressure, lowering cholesterol, improving kidney function, thinning the blood, treating pain, treating neuropathy, clearing the arteries, etc. They have actions which make them therapeutic. However, all herbal formulas have vitamins and minerals in them. Um, and a lot of the anti-inflammatory herbs we use have high antioxidants, high vitamin C, like amlaki berry, used in arthritis, extremely high in vitamin C. So when you're taking a lot of herbs, you're getting a lot of vitamins. And really, a herbalist does not look at the nutritional content and say, oh, take this herb because it's got this vitamin. That's not an herbalist. However, uh, I do make a few products for the nutritional content. So here we have a tea, which I originally made for my son when he was a baby to give him something to drink every day, which was full of vitamins. And I'm still selling it to for children and the elderly, but anybody can take it. It's got peppermint. That's just for the flavor. It's got a little stevia. That's for the sweetness. It's got the coriander and cinnamon. That's for the flavor. But after that, it's nutritional. It's basically some nutritional powerhouses with some peppermint and stevia and cinnamon for flavor. So, and I just made it to the point you could just drink it and taste good. Alfalfa. My horse is living off of alfalfa. Super nutritious. Of course, we do give the horse a lot of other supplements, but very nutritious alfalfa. Not a lot of therapeutic value in alfalfa. Nettle, it is a diuretic, has some therapeutic value, but it's also one of the most nutritious uh, herbs that we could be just drinking in a tea, but both have a bland flavor, so that's why you need the peppermint. Horsetail, it's also used as a diuretic, but also used for bone building. Hibiscus is popular because of its vitamin C content and adds a little flavor and color to the tea. And lemon peel also has some vitamin C and some nutritional value. So you see, there's those. You can make this at home. You could just get like some peppermint, throw in some nettle, a little lemon peel, some cinnamon, and you'd have a tea because you just need these, the peppermint for the flavor and a little cinnamon or coriander or stevia or any or all of these for flavor. And then some of these nutritional herbs in the middle. Now, I've given this out when I sold it in the farmer's market, as somebody came to me, and they said, what could I give my child? I gave him this. But sometimes some people came to me. I remember one elderly woman. She said, I heard about you. I want to try one of your teas. And I was kind of busy, so I didn't really have time to ask her a lot of questions. So I just said, oh, this tea is good for everybody and you'll feel better. She came back next month and said, give me a few more bags. And I go, how was it? She goes, oh, my energy is so much better. So there's nothing stimulating in these, but that shows that she had the deficiency in some nutrient. And when nutrient was overcome using these, this is basically a true food-based nutritional supplement. That's why I call it nutritional superfood tea. She had more energy. If you take a supplement and you're not getting more energy, you're probably not deficient in it. If you feel, oh my God, I can't live without the vitamin supplement, it means you're deficient. Because if you have it, you're not going to feel the deficiency. Okay, so let's take a look here at another product. Here's one for hair. Again, nutritional, similar. There you see the nettle, the horsetail, the oat straw, which we know is also nutritional. Brahmi is actually good for the hair. Rosemary is good for circulation. And hibiscus, there's your hibiscus again. So you can see there's similarities here. This one's probably more nutritional and focused more on having some of those herbs have silicone, iron, and even calcium in there. So this is hair for healthy hair. But you can see how these herbs can be used as vitamins if you know what you're doing. Now, these are much more effective here as far as nutrition. And again, you could make these on your own. I make 3 nutritional products based on Vata, Pitta, or Kapha. This one, as you see, is the Vata one. So this is for a depleted, weak person. And when wheatgrass, totally a superfood. Moringa is kind of got popular these days as its nutritional content. Spirulina, superfood. Chlorella, superfood. Beetroot powder, plenty of vitamins and nutrients in there. Kelp has all the trace minerals. Now, the rest, we got some herbs, dashamula, ashwagandha. These are for balancing vata. But dashamula, dasha means 10, mula means roots, 10 roots. So these are also have high nutritional content. The ashwagandha there is to balance the vata, support the nervous system. And cumin, coriander, and ginger is to help you digest it. And the kelp is giving giving those trace minerals. So this is for a depleted, probably underweight person or a child. And of course, it's also going to have these herbs in it like dashamula and ashwagandha. So it's going to help with stamina, weakness, depletion, and even stress. So we sell these. That's what it looks like. And preferably should be taken in goat milk. Everybody's afraid of milk, but milk is a complete food and has all the fat and carbohydrates and extremely healthy. People just aren't getting good quality milk, and so they think, oh, they can't digest milk. But that's another story. But if you're depleted, I put a lot of depleted people on milk. Here's another one. This is the one I take. This is for Pitta. Cooling nutritional superfood. So, somebody who's red and hot and warm and, doesn't do well with a lot of ginger like myself, or Pitta types. It should say on here Pitta, but it doesn't. Barley grass and wheatgrass, very sweet, very cooling, very nutritious. Just wheatgrass alone is I would call a superfood. Hey, they were juicing wheatgrass shots back in the 60s in California. And alfalfa, there's your alfalfa again. There's a chlorella again. Amlaki I talked about earlier. That is a berry that's known to have the most amount of vitamin C of any food on the planet. And here, of course, it's in dried form. And then because these are my own creations for each body type, I do add the herb shatavari. Shatavari is a very cooling, sweet herb for Pitta types. And there's a little turmeric in there. It's kind of for flavor without being too heating, and a little stevia to make it sweet because some of these can be a little bitter. So this one is with whole milk, or we say coconut milk because people are afraid of milk. And the other one, goat milk, is better for vata types because they're cold, and goat milk is warm, and cow milk is cooling. So this is better for a cooling person. So but you can make these again on your own, just wheatgrass, just get chlorella. We also sell chlorella in capsule form, and we also sell spirulina in capsule form. So I just prefer not to take it in capsule form. I like it in these formulas here where I'm going to mix it with other things. But see, now for weight loss, spirulina is the best. And that's why it's first here. So this is the third superfood for kapha type for weight loss. Spirulina is a real powerhouse. There's your alfalfa again. There's your nettle again. There's the beetroot powder. Some moringa again. But this one's hot. It's got the black pepper, the ginger, the cayenne, and a little kelp, because kelp has got the iodine. It's good for the thyroid function. And then a few herbs, punarava, which is good for swelling and weight loss. So this one we don't take because this is an overweight person, so we don't want it in milk. There we use a milk substitute. So these are really, really effective. A lot of my patients, I don't give these out earlier because in the beginning, because most of my patients, they come to me with a whole laundry list of health problems, and I usually just stop them on all their vitamins, and then I'll sort it out later, help them pick some online. All these that I showed you earlier can be purchased online, and then I will later, as they recover from all their health problems, then I start focusing on nutrition. That's just the way it's called Rasyana Chikitsa. It means the treatment using like rebuilding a nutritional therapy, so to speak. So they have that in Ayurveda, but it's done after you treat all the health problems. So a lot of clients don't even make it that far. Their blood pressure's down, their blood sugar's down, they're off their meds, they say goodbye, and they don't allow me to do one more appointment to go through their supplements and sort those out and pick one of these superfoods for them. But once they do start these, they're like, wow, that really changed my life. I know I've been taking mine for probably 25 years. And I notice the day I don't take it, I just don't have the stamina and the strength. But I'm taking a combination of the superfood plus some of those whole food vitamins that we covered today. I cover my bases. And then Shilajit, which is becoming more popular, it is high in trace minerals and particularly folic acid. And it's all based on the quality of where you get it from. Oh, we used to call it uh, energy mineral uh, powder. But now people are aware of the word Shilajit, so we just kind of changed the name back to Shilajit. But 20 years ago, nobody knew what it was, so we just called it mineral energy powder. But it's very high in all the trace minerals, and those are the ones that we're mostly depleted in, and our soil is depleted in, is the trace minerals. And they found this in the remains of people who's were like frozen in ice, climbing Himalayas, and they found their bones and some of the things they were carrying, and they found they were carrying Shilajit thousands, even 5,000 years ago, with them when they went on the mountains. And I found out later it helps with altitude sickness as well, and it's coming from the Himalayas. And we, of course, get ours from the Himalayas, and it's tested. And the quality is very important, and we do sell that. So I'm taking that every day. So that's my regime. I'm taking the food-based supplements. I take a zinc, take a multi, take a magnesium at night. I don't have much stress, so I'm not taking a B complex. But for those people with stress, we give them more B complex. And magnesium at night, it helps with the sleep, helps with the relaxing, helps with the blood pressure. But they're incomplete treatments on their own, because if they worked, I wouldn't have any patients, because people are like, they have high blood pressure, then they watch some YouTube video that magnesium is going to lower their blood pressure, and it helps. But by the time they come to me, they've realized it's not working. It's not clearing the arteries, relaxing the heart muscles, or thinning the blood. It's just kind of it does relax the heart muscles a little bit. So that's why you get the lower blood pressure. And niacin, of course, is a vascular dilator, and people do take it, but this is not these vitamins shouldn't really be used for therapy. They're supportive. They're just filling in the nutritional gaps in your diet. Herbs are made for therapy, to take some type of therapeutic action. Like I said, improving kidney function, fighting infection, lowering blood sugar, clearing your arteries, helping your memory. They have the herbal formulas have therapeutic actions. Nutritional supplements are supplementing the missing minerals, vitamins that you are lacking in your diet, and you feel better from them because you've been lacking them. And particularly D, people aren't getting outside enough. The real D comes from the sun, and that's really the best. Just get your 15-20 minutes of sunshine every day. But spirulina and some of these supplements I showed you they're also high in D. There is a type of plankton. So the last I'd just like to cover is how to avoid overpriced or rip-off vitamins, because a lot of my patients, they hold up the vitamins they have. And of course, I become familiar with the different brands, because it's really the brand. It's like buying a car. If somebody says have a Mercedes, you figure it's going to be a good car, even if you don't know that model. And same with these vitamins. When you see Garden of Life, New Chapter, Mega Foods, it's a good brand. You probably got a good supplement, even though amongst them there may be better ones. But a lot of these ones you're getting in the supermarket, are just low grade, Trader Joe's and Costco. These are mostly synthetic junk, uh, 1950s vitamins. Back in 1950s, 1960s, they were cutting edge. I'm sure they helped a lot of people. They're not going to hurt you for one day, 1 week, 1 month. But, now it is 2025. We don't need to buy these synthetic, unorganic vitamins. I think I made my point. But now what we're getting is there's another class of supplement out there. And what they do is they take the vitamins, often synthetic, and then they add a few herbs to them. A company that was very famous for this was Standard Process, which actually had some very good products. I was also selling these 20 years ago, and they because they were ahead of their time. They sold a lot of thyroid and bovine and substances, so they had some great products, and they were the ones that started getting extracts of herbs and mixing them with the vitamins. But you shouldn't do that because you need to take these herbs in bulk. So if you see a company and they're mixing vitamins plus herbs together, generally you're not getting enough of the herb and it's just thrown in there for marketing purposes so they can make it look better. Just skip all those companies, and particularly like Standard Process. They're just completely overpriced. And they actually banned me from selling their products years ago because I was discounting them too much. And that's the way they work, just overpricing. And I would never take supplements from like a chiropractor going out the door. Chiropractors love to sell you high-priced supplements that they can make a cut off of. It's kind of an upsell for them. It's not their expertise. It's not what they studied. They studied the skeletal system, the muscular system, and their expertise, which I respect, is dealing with the muscular skeletal system. Don't buy supplements from chiropractors after your treatment. They're usually overpriced, and Standard Process was one of those companies that you couldn't buy anywhere except through resellers like naturopaths and chiropractors. So avoid that. And now we still get another category. It's called nutraceuticals. And these are they're synthetic. They're not food based, but they're more powerful. And they also start to put some fruits and vegetables extracts in together with them. And they're just really overpriced. I mean, I've seen $70, $80 for a bottle of vitamins with, called nutraceuticals. And the products, you can get better products online. There's no point to be buying expensive supplements when you can just go online and shop for food-based supplements and get the best. The best are right there online. These other companies that are not online and they're like exclusive, ours the best, there's only so many companies even doing this, making many of these supplements, and maybe there's only a few factories even doing this food extracting. And I wouldn't be surprised at all. Some of these food-based supplements I showed you today, they're all getting from the same factory. They're just packaged and marketed to different people. And all these vitamins are the same. I mean, the people selling it are not making it. They're buying these synthetic vitamins, probably made for them. And they're probably very similar to other products. And they just try to hype it up, and you have big long web pages saying that theirs is the best. Skip all that. If you want supplements, just go to Amazon, type food-based, multi for women, multi for men, food-based magnesium, food-based D3. That's all you got to do. Read the reviews. Don't buy expensive supplements online with all the hype and all the promise. People show me all these expensive supplements, and I just skip the front, skip the website, look at the back, and it's the same as the cheap stuff in Costco with a lot of hype. So really, there's a lot of fraud going on in the supplement business. People say ours are the best. You look at the back, it's the same as the next guy's. And most of them are still stuck in the synthetic vitamin category. They haven't even moved to quality products, and they don't say organic on them. So they're really not of high quality. So really watch out for, cheap supplements and expensive supplements. Get food-based supplements, and there's only like 4 or 5 companies that are really doing it. And the price is higher, but it's been coming down. And of course, the best to conclude is to, have a broad range of food that you're eating. I mean, a lot of people are paranoid to eat fruit nowadays. They're like you're taking out whole food categories and saying, "Oh, let's not eat it." But we're extremists when it comes to diet, and most of these people online just have some kind of theory they read, or some retired doctor wrote a book on something, and everybody's following it. But these are mostly just theories. So we have a lot of extreme dieting going on, which can create nutritional deficiencies. No grains, and grains is, if you study nutrition, I mean, grains is one of the base foods that you need. I don't follow the food pyramid, but grains is on there. It's essential, but oh no, we're throwing them out. And, we've already thrown all the dairy out. That's been thrown out a long time ago. And dairy is like the complete food. I mean, good milk is a complete food. I mean, babies and mammals are living off of it. And then we've thrown out the dairy. That's gone out, which is a problem, particularly if you're a depleted, underweight person. And then we've thrown out all the grains. So everybody's scared to have grains. Now they've been throwing out the fruit because fruit has sugar. So you're just throwing out these whole nutritional categories of foods. And there are diets now, like carnivore diet doesn't even believe in vegetables, just believes we ran around eating raw meat and, and grabbing a few nuts up the tree. So when you follow these extreme diets, 100% you're going to have nutritional deficiencies. So that's the first thing. Don't do anything extreme. I mean, if you're overweight, you can't eat a lot of bread, but there's other grains you could eat. It's not everybody can digest milk. And so, but there's other alternatives like ghee and yogurt that you can digest easier. Not everybody should be eating cheese because it's a weight gainer and things like that. So there's always exceptions, but there's no good or bad. You can't say, oh, dairy's bad. Once you hear that, amateur, all grains are bad, amateur. Well, now they say no carbs, so they're even going more extreme. And, of course, vegetables and fruit both have carbohydrates in it. So you really can't do no carbs. But what they mean to say is no grains. So you got to be careful of these extreme views. Even when it comes, we know that wheat is building. The Romans used to say merchants eat rice, soldiers eat bread because it was building, and we know. But if you're overweight, obviously, then we know that you don't need to be more building. So, but there's other grains you can do. I mean, there's amaranth, there's buckwheat, there's quinoa, but you shouldn't just leave out a whole food category. So, and that definitely goes for fruit. I mean, obviously, if you're diabetic, you can't be eating bananas all day, but you can still have whole apples. Oh, there's mine right there. So we go. And you should have some fruit every day, and you should have plenty of vegetables. You could have restrictions on vegetables based on your health issues, but you should be eating vegetables 3 times a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner should have vegetables, and you should have a couple fruits during the day, of course, based on who you are and your health issues and your body type and dosha and vikriti and prakriti, etc. There's, we could pick it individually, but you should have fruit every day, and you should have grains every day, and you should need protein every day. And some people, it doesn't mean everybody should be plant-based, and doesn't mean everybody should just be eating steaks. I mean, it depends on the individual, but a lot of people do such extreme diets, just, smoothies, and there's no protein. So then they have protein deficiency. And really, there's very little protein deficiency unless you're, in a impoverished country. Then there would be no protein deficiency. Mostly it's the vitamins and minerals, and particularly the trace minerals that we're deficient in. But there are people in Western world just living off of smoothies that end up with protein deficiency, all from these extreme diets. So eat your 3 meals a day, 2 if you're overweight. Have a little fruit. Don't follow any extreme crazy diet. We're not carnivores anymore. And don't follow the worst diet of all, the keto diet, another theory which creates a lot of health problems, which I've spoke about many times in other podcasts. And unfortunately, we need to take some vitamins and supplements. The best would be, of course, these food-based food ones like chlorella, spirulina, and then second would be food-based supplements. But get rid of all your cheap ones. Don't be tricked by expensive ones that cost, $45, $50, $60 a bottle. They're just overpriced. synthetic vitamins. All right. Well, I hope this helped you to upgrade your nutritional supplements because we all need to be taking some nutritional supplementation. And again, I'll repeat all the herbs because I'm an herbalist and I give a lot of herbs for people for all their health issues. They are all from plants, barks, leaves, roots, and they all have vitamins. So if you're my patient and you're taking some herbs for your blood pressure, you're taking some herbs for your blood sugar, you're taking some herbs for your kidneys, you're taking some, you're taking a lot of vitamins doing that. So that's why I can take away people's all their supplements and just treat them with my herbs. And they still don't even have nutritional deficiencies because they're taking all the herbs and all the vitamins are in the herbs. So this is the beauty of herbs is they are just plants. And not only do they have therapeutic benefit, but they're packed with vitamins and minerals. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I hope I educated you on upgrading your nutritional supplements. Thank you.